on to question 49. And we'll go with yellow. We haven't done color yellow in a while. And it says, which of the following statements describes the total number of dots in the first n rows of the triangular arrangement illustrated below? So I'll draw this for you. It has 1, then it has 1, 2, 3. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's 7. Yep, 7. And then 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's labeled first row, second row, third row, fourth row, and fifth row. And then there's a bunch of statements underneath, and it wants us to tell them which one of the statements is true. So, statement A says, this total, the question states, describe the total number, which of the following statements describes the total number of dots in the first n rows? So, n rows, n can be any number, n could be equal to 1, 2, 3, a million, 2 million, whatever you want it to be. So, describes the total number of dots in the first n rows of the triangular plane illustrated below. Choice A says, this total is always equal to 25 regardless of the number of rows. So this total is referring to the number of dots. So it says the total number of dots will always be equal to 25 no matter how many rows there are. Well, that doesn't make sense, right? Because say we choose n to be 3, then there's only 5 plus 3 plus 1. That's only 9 dots. That's clearly not 25. So that's not correct. It might be helpful to just write how many dots are there. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So choice A is out. Choice B says this total is equal to twice the number of rows. Well, if we choose 3 to be the number of rows, then there are 9 dots. There would be 9 dots, and it says this total will be equal to twice the number of rows. Well, twice of 3 is just 6, which is clearly not 9. So choice B is out. Choice C says this total is equal to 5 times the number of rows. Well, if we choose the number of rows to be 2, then there's 4 dots. 2 times 5, which would be 10, is clearly not equal to 4. So that's not correct. Choice D says this total is equal to the square of the number of rows. So say we choose 4 to be the number of rows, then we have 16 dots, and the square of the number of rows, so there'd be 4, the square would be equal to 16 as well. So that's a possibility, but you always want to double check, so we'll choose 5, and all the dots going up to the 5th row would be equal to 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9, which would be equal to 25. And then the number of rows squared, which would be n, well, n would be equal to 5. So 5 squared would also be equal to 25. And you can see that 1 squared would be equal to 1, 4 squared would be equal to 2 squared. So choice D is the correct answer. And choice E said there is no consistent relationship between this total and the number of rows. So clearly, since we have an answer here, that choice E cannot be correct. And we'll move on to question number 50. And it says, question 50 says, after polling a class of 20 music students by a show of hands, you find that 8 students play guitar and 9 students play the piano. Given this information, what is the minimum number of students in this music class who play both guitar and piano? So there are 20 students total. 8 play guitar, and 9 play the piano. And it wants to know what is the minimum number of students in this class who play both the guitar and the piano. So say we have 20 students lined up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to 20. Pretend that's 20. So say the first 8 students said they played guitar. Actually, we'll actually do this accurately. It'll make it easier to understand. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 students. So the first 8 said they play guitar. And then we can say the next 9, or however many, the next 9 said they played piano. This actually isn't accurate because I messed up at the beginning, but you can follow along still. So the next 9 said they played piano. Well, there's still 3 kids that left over who don't play anything. So 8 play guitar, 9 play piano, and there isn't any necessity that any students play both guitar and piano. If you look at it from a different angle, we could see that if the maximum number that could play guitar and piano would be 8, because say all 8 guitar players also played piano. That means 8 students play guitar and piano. But say we had 14 students who played the guitar. The question doesn't actually say this, but it'll make it easier to understand. Say we had 14 students who played the guitar. Now we still have the 9 who play the piano, but we have these 8 plus the 3 that would be left over from this. So we would have the 8 plus the 3, but that's only 11 students, and it says 14 play the guitar. So then you would need some people who play piano to play the guitar. So in this situation, 3 students would be playing piano and guitar, a minimum of 3. But in the first situation, there's no need to overlap these bars. We can have 8 students who play guitar and 9 students who play piano. And that's the answer to 50. So since there's no necessity, the answer is 0. 0 students have to play guitar and piano. Okay, we'll go on to question 51. Question 51 says, question 51, alright, which of the following is the set of all real numbers x such that x plus 3 is greater than x plus 5? It wants to know what is the set of all the numbers of x, and the set means like which classification of numbers does it belong to. For instance, do all the values that fit into x that would make this true, are they all positive real numbers? Are they all negative real numbers? Are they all imaginary numbers? Those are all just examples of what the set would be. So we can solve this, or simplify this equation at least. So if we subtract 3 from both sides, we're left with x is greater than x plus 2. And this is the equation we're working with. So which values of x would make this equation true? So can we ever have a number that is greater than that same number plus 2? Well, no, because that doesn't make sense. If you have any number on a number line, say this is 0, if you have any number, if you add 2, you're always going to be going to the right. Say this is negative 9. You add 2, you always go to the right. You'll be at negative 7. If you have 1,000,000 and you add 2, you'll be at 1,000,002. If you have negative 1,000,000 and you add 2, you'll be going further to the right. So you can see that this will never be true. So we can see that choice A says the empty set, and that just means there's no solution to this equation, which is exactly true. So the answer is choice A. I'll see you in the next video.